Hi, Moya, and this is me recording a little Pilates session for you. So we've talked about you would like to do more on your abs, and I would like to start working a little bit more into this part of your body here, just to strengthen and improve the flexibility which we all need. So these are the notes I had from our session. I'm going to start off with the abs. I'm going to start with us on the floor. Let's get into aligning, breathing and engaging with our abs. So keep the elbows wide. To start with, I want you to think about the back of the body. Sense the back of the body. That's the sacrum. That's that triangle we talk about at the back of you here. The brown line, is it connected? Doesn't matter if it isn't. And the back of the head. Now, the back of us needs to expand so that it opens up and it allows us to move more freely. Let's feel the front of us now. So this is where we talk about the pubic bone, the skin of the pubic bone coming up through to the heart and then this part here. They refer to it in the Gouda as the third eye. But really, if you allow yourself to put weight into that part of your head, the back of the neck naturally extends. Now when you breathe, the front of you lifts. So the front of you lifts as the back expands. Okay. But don't worry if you're not sensing it. It'll happen as we do the exercises and you'll get used to the positions. Right. So from this position, I want you to start to think about the breath. Thinking about the breath coming into the body, into the lower tummy area. So the lower belly expands as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, it gently sinks back down. Okay. Put your right hand on your lower belly, your left hand on the heart area. Now breathe into your lower belly and the heart area, breathing in. As you breathe out, gently scooping up the lower belly under your belly button and letting the heart sink between your shoulder blades. 2 more. Breathing in and letting the scooping happen and the softening of the heart dropping down. 1 more. Breathing in. And we've got the scooping and the dropping down of the heart. Put your hands onto the side of your ribs. Sense how you can, as you breathe in, the side of your ribs open. Breathe into the side of the ribs. Breathe out. Breathe into the side and the back of the ribs. And as you breathe out, gently scooping up under the belly button, letting the heart sink towards the back of the ribs. Breathing in again, keeping this one, holding the lower belly this time. Breathing in to the heart area and the back area and the side of the ribs. Let's try that, but holding the lower belly in. Breathing into the side, the back and the heart area. And as you breathe out, imagine that you can soften these ribs down. So you're scooping and softening. Hands onto the side if you're still breathing into the side, the back and the front, holding the lower belly. And as you breathe out, scooping deeper and softening these ribs. Lovely. Hold your fingers in front of you, knit them together, widen your elbows, and in your next out breath, I want you to breathe in, taking the hands behind your head. Let the hands cradle your head. The head does nothing except get longer into the hands of the weight as we distribute it into the hands. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull the elbows forward. And now as you breathe out, curl up. So thinking about still scooping here, softening the ribs, curling up. Lovely. Okay, so from this position now, I want you to take yourself so that you're rolling over onto the shoulder. Do you remember we did this? Rolling over onto the shoulder. Take the hand down onto the floor that's nearest to the floor. And you're going to slightly pull on it so you've got the shoulder coming over a bit further. Good. Take the top hand and you're going to have it parallel, the whole arm and hand parallel to the floor. Reach across so you're letting everything turn a bit more. And you're doing this all from the side of your waist if you can. Take a breath in And as you breathe out, imagine I'm pulling in the shoulder blade back a little bit. So you're pulling with the fingertips and pulling with the back of your shoulder blade. That lovely sense of opposition. Put your hand behind your head again. Okay, lift the hand nearest the floor. Reach down towards the actual end of the mat. Keep your knees pointing to the ceiling, feet on the floor, and keep breathing. Whatever you do, keep breathing. Okay. And now we're going to use the shoulder, not the neck, to move into a pulsing. So we're going to do 5 of these. Push the shoulder forward. 1. So we're rolling onto the other shoulder. 2. Roll over and pulse. 3. Roll over onto the shoulder. Pulse. 4. Last one, rolling over and pulse. 5. Come back. Have your hands behind your head again. Remember, you can cradle them quite easily by having the fingers together like that, pulling the armpits, the elbows apart. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Pull the elbows forward. Coming into that chest, crunching forwards. Okay. Looking down towards your belly button, scooping up under the belly button, letting the ribs be soft. Okay. And now you're going to rotate onto the other shoulder. And you do this from the waist if you can. Don't worry if you can't. It'll come along as it develops. And now taking the bottom hand, placing it on the ground again. A little bit of purchase with the palm of the hand, and now you're pulling so you've got more of your shoulder coming over, but your hips are still on the ground. Take a breath in, breathe out. Take the shoulder, make sure the shoulder blade's down, reach the shoulder across. Fingertips away from you. Now imagine I'm pulling at the back of your shoulder. Take a breath in, and we're pulling back as we're pulling out. So we're pushing out with the fingertips, pulling back with the shoulder. Hand at the back of the head. Now remember, this is not about your neck, it's about the shoulder moving. That you're going to pick up the hand first, it's on the ground, reach down towards the bottom of the mat, and now we're going to pulse. We're going to move the shoulder. Can you see my shoulder moving? 2. It's not my neck. 3. 4. And last one. 5. Come back down. That's it. So that gets into the transverse and into the back of you here. So it's quite a nice thing to do. One more of these, I'm going to do it quite quickly so that you can always fast forward to this bit. Fingers pull out. Elbows wide. Hands cradle your head. Breathe into the back of the ribs. As you breathe out, pull your elbows forward and come forward into the curl. So abdominal curl, pulling up under the belly button, pulling down, letting the ribs be very, very soft. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out from the waist, rotate onto your shoulder. Take another breath, and as you breathe out, push your hand down onto the floor. And allow the hand to have some purchase on the floor, pulling your shoulder over. Taking the top hand away, shoulder down, and now it parallel to the floor. Reach with the shoulder and allow the fingertips to reach away. Imagine I'm pulling at the back of you, bringing in the breath. You're now going to pull back, as if I'm pulling back into your shoulder and pulling forwards with your fingertips. Hand again, cradling your head, not pulling. Okay, so we're going to use this shoulder in a minute to push and pulse. Lifting up the fingertips and the arm, pushing down towards the actual end of the mat. Now we're going to pulse. We're reaching the shoulder over, pulse down. Pulse down. So we're reaching with the shoulder. If I take my hand onto my shoulder, you can see it's a shoulder. That's 4 and that's 5. It's not your head. Come back, cradle your head. Breathe into the back of the ribs. As you breathe out, pull the elbows forward, come up and crunch. Nice sort of curl. Allow the skin of the pubic bone to come up underneath your belly button. Deep abdominals, lovely soft ribs. And now rotate onto the other side. Hand down by the side, purchase on the floor. Pull over a bit more from the waist if you can. Take the hand out and parallel to the ground. Shoulder down. Stretch your fingertips away. Try not to lift the hips. Take a breath in and imagine I'm pulling back from the shoulder blade. Pulling back as I pull out. Hold the back of the head. Cradle the head. Do not pulse on the neck. Lift the hand nearest the floor up. Push down towards the bottom of the mat. And now we're going to do this 5 pulses. I'm going to put my hand here so you can see it's from the shoulder. I'm lifting and pulsing. 1, lifting and pulsing, 2, lifting and pulsing, 3, lifting and pulsing, 4, lifting and pulsing, 5. Good work. Whew. Come back, give yourself just a little stretch. Right, and on to the next one. So that's predominantly for all of these, you know, you remember the cross your heart brow and girdle. So we're getting into that part of us. Now I'm going to target the lower belly for you. It's a nice easy one. You can do this while you're watching telly. It's really effective. So elbows wide, up with one leg and then the other into tabletop. Okay, so from here, what I want you to do is that the knees go forward. So when you do this, you should feel as if the arms are coming in. And when you can't take them out any further, or you feel as if the back's coming off, just get them into that state that you feel quite comfortable, elbows are wide, and you're going to just take one foot, point it to the ceiling. Look what happens. The knees are together, the thighs are aligned, you bring it back down. You lift up the other one, everything's aligned. You've got a little gap in between as well. Now I'm lifting up like this. If you want to, you can really, this is a fantastic one to do. If you lift up and you reach down and then you take your knees up like that and down like that. It's really good. And then of course, you can always take the knees out a bit further if you feel that you want to. Lift up and down. It's a lovely thing to do. Really getting into these muscles. Now you know I'm quite roly-poly, but in here it's solid when you're doing this. It's absolutely marvellous. Okay, so that's your abdominals. I hope you enjoy doing those. And I'm now going to just turn over, and if you want to carry on watching this video, we'll just fast forward to this bit. This is a bit that we were going to do as much as we could for the upper back, and I need this just as much as anybody else. So if you bear with me, I'll take myself onto the floor. To start with, I'm allowing myself to get connected to the mat, so my hands are under my forehead. And what I'm going to do is lift a leg and extend it away and then put it back down. Lift another leg and extend it away. So that's my starting position. I'm going to imagine I've got a little ice cube underneath my tummy button and I'm pulling it away, okay, to keep my back nice and sort of safe, really strong. Okay, one hand stays underneath your forehead, and I'm going to bring you back to where we decided we were going to start. We're going to start here with you and I actually are going to start with our hand in that W position on the one side. So we're going to start here, we're going to take a breath, we're going to use the heel of the hand to push away from the mat, So I'm looking down and that's opening up the front of me, and then I'm coming down. And this time I'm going to push my heel of my hand into the ground, but I'm going to look down towards my chest and try and push up into the top of my shoulders. And then back down. It's a much harder move that. We'll try it again, shall we? Here we go. So take a breath in, and you're going to push away the heel of the hand and lift up the chest and look forward. So it's quite an easy, it's much easier to do it that way than the other way, coming all the way back down. And allow yourself to take a breath, and now we're going to push away the heel of the hand, and I'm going to do my best to push up into the top of my shoulders, so I'm rounding my back, and then I'm coming all the way down. And we're going to swap. Okay, you probably can't see what's happening, but here we go. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, heel of hand into the ground, push away. So I'm pushing with my heel of hand and this forearm as well. Come all the way up and come back down. And now heel of hand into the ground, pushing away, push. Oh, sorry, it's the other way. So I'm pushing up into my shoulders, looking down. And it's a really hard move, but it does get the back moving. One more, looking forward, push away, look forwards, and then coming back down. And this is the last one. Let's see if I can do it. I'm going to push up as I round into my shoulders and come back down. One more. I do hope that you enjoy those exercises. I'm going to go to the back of the camera now and switch off, and I'll see you soon. Bye.